Hello everybody, Taalmond StarCraft here, and I have another cast for you. It is another game involving me on Battlenet, and you will be able to see the wonders of my 4-gate against an unprepared Zerg player, especially a Zerg player that goes one base roaches. Now, we have Taalmond spawning as the blue Protoss in the middle left area, and we have Boggoth spawning as the red Zerg in the bottom left portion of the map. The map is Metalopolis, a very famous 2v2 map that is used on ladder all the time, and it is very common and very used for cannon cheese. I just want to mention that real quick, divulge from my casting real quick, that often players will put cannons down here and shoot up into the mineral line, and it is very, very difficult cannoning to stop and then build cannons up on the top using a pylon to warp in. And that is cheesy. See, at this point, I made some critical mistakes, but I also made some really good moves and allowed me to do well in this game. At this point, I'm like, okay, Zerg must wall in. Now, here's where my forgetting instincts begin to take over. I'm like, okay, build gateway, left click. Build gateway next to pylon. Didn't actually think consciously that I needed to hold on a second. That was a waste of resources. I could have done that a lot faster. Oh well. The Zerg player, he's moving his overload up. Derp, 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 derp. Overlord flying up at super high speeds, because that's what magical giant insect space balloons do. They fly at high speeds across chasms on a Coruscant-esque map. For those of you who don't know who Coruscant is, I suggest you get out of that rock you're hiding under and go watch some excellent movies involving George Lucas as the director. Now I'll see this Overlord Scout, which as Zerg you usually want to try to prevent him from seeing Overlord Scout, just peek in, see the base, peek back out. But he's just going to go around, see what he can see the gas. The gas timing's a little delayed because I was too busy looking around his base. I was not at the top of my game. This is my first game of the day. And, ooh, the gas is idle for a very long time. Luckily this does not gas cap me too bad. When I build my Cyber Core, I am like, oh shit, I do not have any workers on gas. Let's fix that. Holy crap, it's been like 30 seconds since my assimilator's been down. And we'll see the transfer right now. Okay. I'm continuing to build probes. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of a phone call to answer. He's chasing off my probe. And here is where I want to prevent him from chasing me around. Because normally, if you set a drone to attack another drone, it'll just follow them indefinitely until the world explodes. So I'm going to return fire. Pow. Pow, and as he's a little scared, doesn't want to lose the drone. He could win this fight in a one-on-one, but he's going to escape his drone with about half health, recharging his life slowly while my probe is recharging his energy much faster. So my probe is going to survive quite nicely and live to fight another day, go back down there and build that proxy pylon later on. So the gas is building up. Warp core, what am I saying? Warp research for warp gates is going down, and the 3 gateways are building. This will allow me some pretty decent timing on my 4-gate. I think this timing was pretty well. I can't remember exactly. 2 idle probes just sitting here. Not the best place to be. That probe's going to book it on down there to build that proxy pylon. This probe is going to go back and mine some minerals with his mouthful of little minerals. Isn't he cute? And so, the Zerg player, Boggoth, has decided to go one base roach play. Not that bad of an idea against Protoss if you can get some early pressure and push up their ramp and kill them, because they will have a hard time once you expand of pushing off your massive waves of roaches. However, he does not expect this kind of early pressure, and let's see if he's scouted the 4-gate. No, he has not scouted the 4-gate. Not the wisest position. He probably should send in a sacrificial overlord, but no, as a wide Zerg player, he's going to wait till about the 8-minute mark to see my tech. Unfortunately, if everything goes well on a 2v2 map, the push should come out up your ramp at about 6 minutes. So we'll see the gates forming here. 4 zealots warping in here in just a second. Here they are. They're going to be a little bit delayed because they want to wait for that stalker friend to show up. And that drone is like, holy shit, there's a bunch of zealots running around. And here comes the stalker, and the push at the ramp is a little bit delayed because of that drone, but it should be coming up around 6 minutes. It's about the 6-minute, 10-second mark. He sees the 4-gate. He's, oh shit, he's shitting his pants right now. He does not know what to do. So he's building, he has no troops building because he has been macroing up like crazy to get enough resources for these mass roaches, and he's getting the roach speed perhaps because he got a lair. Maybe this is just very newbie play. Maybe he's just not racing a Zerg, because that is just not normal Zerg play. Unfortunately, you should never, ever, ever send drones in against zealots, because they just melt drones away at high speeds. And that will be cleaned up. That stalker will be pulling out of there. No, he will not. He will be melted away by the drone. Oh, and he explodes. And so, there's only 2 stock. Now, right now, the Zerg could push this off if I pushed up the ramp, but wisely, I'm going to wait for another warp-in cycle, and it's going to come out right about now. Having 4 stalkers and 2 zealots. These roaches are not even attack moving, they're moving to take out the pylon. And he thinks that I just don't have enough resources to support this, but these roaches will go down, and he will have no defenses left in his base. He will just have 1 roach building. Not even a roach, a drone. He's droning back up. He thinks he was safe, but he was not safe. There's more Protoss units pushing up the ramp. He only has a queen left. He's going to throw down Spinecrawler in desperation in the mineral line, but it is just far, far, far too late. And the drones should never go against zealots, because zealots just devour drones with their little slashy blades. And Bargoth with the GG. He has no drones left. He has 1 roach built, and that is the GG. Rather short game. 4-gate games are usually short if I win them, because I'm not working on my macro game, I'm working on my micro game right now, and I just want to get into Platinum before I start working on any crazy 2-gate Robo expand, 3-gate expand builds against Zerg or Terran. When I get in the higher leagues, I'm definitely going to 4-gate Protoss almost every time, because it is very, very difficult for Protoss to stop a 4-gate unless they build static defenses. In fact, I'm going to touch on this real quick. I have a little bit of time left on the video. 4-gating is so easily countered by any kind of static defense. If you scout properly, and you see the opponent throwing down 4 gateways, throw up a Spinecrawler, throw up a bunker, build a couple photon cannons. The 4-gate is so vulnerable to this, because the 4-gate needs to push up your ramp, kill your units, kill your workers, win. If they waste time losing units to these strong static defenses, they'll be so far behind in the macro game that if you manage to push it off without losing any workers, it's pretty much GG for the toss player. So, if you ever find yourself being 4-gated far too often, a couple static defenses, if you spot the 4-gating time, should help. This is Taalmond StarCraft, signing off.